2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
I now note that the hour has come. Ms. McDonough, will you please call the roll to take attendance? Members that are in attendance, will you please indicate that you are present when your name is called?
Councilmember Gilmore Richardson, Councilmember Jones, Councilmember Gaudier, Councilmember Landau, present. Councilmember Phillips, Councilmember O'Rourke, Vice Chair Squilla, present. Chair Driscoll.
Present. Thank you. A quorum of the committee is present, and this hearing is now called to order. This is the public hearing of the Committee on Licenses and Inspections regarding Bill Number 250123, Bill Number 250150, and Bill Number 250151. At this time, I will note that Bill Number 250150, that is 250150, is being held at the request of the sponsor and will not be heard today. Ms. McDonough, will you please read the title of the bills?
Bill number 250123, an ordinance amending section 6-503 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Licenses and Permits to provide for the suspension of licenses for businesses not in compliance with applicable state regulations and/or whose physical layout significantly differs from the originally approved floor plan, all under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 250151, an ordinance amending Title IX of the Philadelphia Code entitled Regulation of Businesses, Trades, and Professions by revising Chapter 9-4400 entitled Responsible Business Operations to add the sale of tobacco in violation of 18 PA CS Section 6305 to the list of nuisance behaviors under certain terms and conditions.
Ms. McDonough, will you please call the first panel we have to testify this morning on bills number 250123 and 250151?
Dawn Kieswitter, the Director of Environmental Health Services for the Philadelphia Department of Public Health.
Good morning.
Good morning, Councilman.
Please state your name and begin your testimony.
My name is, My name is Dawn Kieswetter. I'm Director of Environmental Health Services.
Hi, good morning. Ben Hartung, Public Policy Advisor for the Department of Public Health.
Okay. Good morning, Chair Driscoll, Vice Chair Squilla, and members of the Committee on Licenses and Inspections. My name is Dawn Kieswetter. I am the Director of Environmental Health Services for the Philadelphia Department of Public Health. Joining me today is Ben Hartung, Public Policy Advisor for the Division of Chronic Disease and Injury Prevention. On behalf of Commissioner Rovell Nelson and the Health Department, thank you for the opportunity to testify regarding Bill number 250123, introduced by Councilmember Bass. This bill amends the administrative provisions of the Health Code related to the processes for suspension of a license or permit issued by the Health Department. It adds 2 subsections that allow the Health Department to take enforcement actions against licensed or permitted businesses. The Health Department looks forward to working with our partner agencies to determine process steps to administer this legislation. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
Good morning, Director. Let me get this right. Kieswetter. Kieswetter.
Yep,
Okay.
good enough.
I did all right.
Good enough for record.
Good morning to you, and good morning to you as well, my friend. Thank you for being with us. We are talking about 250123. Am I correct?
Correct.
It focuses significantly on changed physical layouts in businesses. In the department's experience, what types of issues arise in businesses that have significantly altered their layout?
So from a health department perspective, if you have changed your plan, we would conduct an inspection. You would submit an application, and we would make sure that it would comply with our food safety standards. We are worried about any changes that would significantly affect the public health, or if, for example, you had like a menu change, like you were suddenly preparing sushi. That would be an issue for us because we would want you to do it safely to prevent foodborne illness.
And then what criteria will be used then to determine a significant departure from the approved floor plan?
Right now, the criteria is any significant changes to something that would affect, for the health department, something that would affect the preparation of food. So we concentrate on food preparation areas.
Okay.
And I can provide more detail if you want. There's a lot more details. It really depends on the establishment and what the existing processes are.
I guess I'm only curious about how you define significant.
It depends on the operation, right?
Okay.
So am I permitted to give an example?
Please do.
Okay. For example, if you never fried food before, okay? And you were to all of a sudden put in a fryer in your establishment, that would be a significant change. You would need to have an exhaust hood.
Right.
You would need to have all of the equipment, right, to be safe. If you went from, let's say, serving prepackaged food, okay, and then all of a sudden you are preparing sushi.
Right.
That's, those are the types of operations and processes that we look at.
Thank you for the example and explanation. That was very interesting. I appreciate you. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
no problem.
Thank you, Member O'Rourke. Hearing no further questions from members of this if there's no other questions for this panel, then Ms. McDonald, will you please call the second panel we have to testify this morning on bills number 250123 and 250151.
It's me.
Right. You're back.
I'm here, I never left. Okay. Sorry for the pleasantries again. Good morning, Chair Driscoll, Vice Chair Squilla, and members of the committees on license and inspections. Again, I'm Dawn Kieswetter, Director of Environmental Health Services for the Health Department, and joining me today is Ben Hartung, Public Policy Advisor. On behalf of Commissioner Ravel Nelson and the Health Department, oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong testimony. I apologize. Whew. Okay, same thing. On behalf of Commissioner Ravel Nelson and the Health Department, thank you for the opportunity to testify regarding bill number 250123. I was right? Okay. Okay, sorry, I apologize. 151, introduced by Councilmember Bass. The bill amends the definition of nuisance behavior in Section 94401 of the Philadelphia Code to explicitly include the illegal sale of tobacco products as a behavior that interferes with the health, safety, or welfare of the community. The Health Department agrees that the sale of tobacco products to minors and the sale of individual loose cigarettes or other tobacco products out of a pack is a nuisance behavior. Both activities are illegal under Philadelphia law pursuant to Philadelphia Code 9-622 and Philadelphia Code 9-633. Both activities negatively impact public health by causing children to become addicted to tobacco products and making it harder for people to quit smoking. The Health Department currently issues Philadelphia Code violation notices to retailers who sell tobacco products to minors and for the sale of loose tobacco products. Retailers with a Philadelphia Tobacco retailer permit that receive 3 or more CVNs for tobacco sales to a minor are not eligible to renew their permit. The Health Department also issues cease operation orders for repeated tobacco sales violations as permitted by the Philadelphia Code. The Health Department has been working with the Law Department and the Department of Licenses and Inspections on a process to revoke licenses for repeat offenders through a notice of violation process. The proposed bill would allow the Health Department to declare a business that violates tobacco sales laws 3 times within a 12-month period a chronic nuisance. It would give the Health Department a tool for more stringent enforcement against nuisance retailers. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions from members? Okay. So seeing no questions, I think, are you testifying again?
No,
Then you're released.
just 2 times.
Ms. McDonald, will you please call the second panel we have today to testify this morning on bill number 250123 and 250151.
Thera Martin.
Good morning. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Good morning. My name is Thera Martin, and I'm here representing the Allegheny West Foundation and the North 22nd Street Business Corridor. And thank you all for allowing me to be here today, and good day to all of you. Allegheny West Foundation has a contract to do business management and corridor cleaning along the North 22nd Street Business Corridor and in that immediate area of the city. And we do thank you for this opportunity to testify today. Our official business corridor runs from 22nd and West Lehigh Avenue down to 22nd and West Allegheny Avenue. We have 110 storefronts that are open and operating 6 and 7 days a week. We also look out for other small businesses in our immediate service area, 19132 and 19140. Although our city is very diverse, when it comes to concerns along business corridors, what we find is that many of us have similar issues we are trying to address, namely nuisance businesses. For the sake of being specific, let me talk about the 8 nuisance businesses that we have along our official business corridor. We've got 3 stop-and-go businesses along our corridor, and in all 3 cases, the owners allow patrons to pack into their establishments like sardines. There's very little seating. There's also next to no real food being sold at these locations. It's all about the beer, the alcohol, and, yeah, some chips. Patrons go outside in front of these stop-and-goes, and they relieve themselves when they have to go to the bathroom, number 1 or number 2. They don't care. They do it right on the sidewalk. Some of these people eat half a platter of food that they purchased from one of our businesses down the street, and they just dump it on the sidewalk when they have finished eating the portion that they want. Some of the people who hang out in these stop-and-goes, when they come out of the stores, they linger out in front, and they loiter, cussing, smoking pot and cigarettes, drinking, and making lewd remarks to women as they walk by, and all around causing havoc for our community. Then there's the smoke shops. Oh boy. Everyone in the know understands that these smoke shops are not just selling cigarettes and cigars, we allege. We allege that they're selling illegal products as well. They seem to be allowed to stay open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that in and of itself is a nuisance. We often witness youth under the age of 18 coming in and out of these smoke shops. Now, why do we know that? Because right across the street from one of the smoke shops, there's a business owner who coaches young people after school, and he says it has broken his heart to see some of his players who've called him and said, "Oh, coach, I'm sick, I can't come today." And then he sees them going across the street to the smoke shop and doing business inside there. We see license tags from Michigan, from Ohio, from New Jersey, and New York out in front of all 3 of the smoke shops that we are referring to right now. Now, how do I know that these smoke shops are open like 24 hours a day? All of 2024, I was working at a radio station, WURD, and my shift started at 6 a.m. I would leave the house at 4 a.m. to go to work. I would see with my own eyes 5 days a week as I was going to the radio station, because I don't get on the highway, I drive through the city, and I see all the action, and I saw too much negative action out in front of these smoke shops on North 22nd Street. The other issue is that we never know when there's going to be a gun battle from the people who are doing business in these smoke shops. I myself have witnessed a gun battle. It was in 2018, but it was like yesterday for me, walking down North 22nd Street, February 28th, the last day of Black History Month, a beautiful day, a weird day when the temperature was over 60-some degrees in February, so people were out, the sidewalks were packed, mothers with their babies, all that. All of a sudden, we heard pop, pop, pop. Because we're from the hood, we know the difference between a car backfiring, having some other kind of device going off, or hearing guns being shot. We knew it were guns, and people started scattering immediately. We were all running for our lives that day. A person did get killed that day right out on North 22nd Street, one of the warring drug dealers by one of his enemies. And so all of that activity, we feel, is drawn because of the nuisance businesses that are on North 22nd Street. Now, on top of all of that, we've got a gaming hall that is open along our business corridor. Our community, already has enough addiction issues to grapple with. Lord knows we do not need to add gambling addictions to the list. Neighbors, area residents, and business owners alike, they're all coming to me, asking me, how do we get rid of this spot? How did it open in the first place, Thera? How soon can we get rid of it? And so the community and the business owners are saying, we don't want that gaming hall in our community. Now, in the 8th Council District, we have Councilwoman Cindy Bass, and she is, we believe, as proactive as she can be in addressing nuisance businesses. However, once they move into our community, what we're finding is that it is hard as all get out to get them out. Now, Cindy Bass, I want to say it was about 2 years ago, maybe it was 3 years ago now, that she did have success with one of those nuisance businesses that was a major problem right at the corner of 22nd and Cambria Street called Polar Deli. And it's just a half a block away from the beautiful Pierce Elementary School, brand new building that's just been put up. But for years, our children, elementary school kids, had to walk past the Polar Deli, men, again, urinating on the sidewalk, making lewd remarks to women as they're walking by, drinking, they're gambling out there, just a problem. Well, one day, Councilwoman Cindy Bass went in there by surprise. They didn't know she was coming, and it was shortly thereafter, in a matter of days, that spot was closed down at 22nd and Cambria, and it has not reopened. In its place, there is a grocery store, corner grocery store, and we welcome them. They are a much better business neighbor in our community. And we thank Councilwoman Bass for getting the Polar Deli closed at 22nd and Cambria. We need more action like that. And we as a business quarter have to find ways to be more proactive in vetting some of these potential new businesses. So we're not expecting council to do it all by yourselves. We know that as a business association, we got to do our part too. We want to get a model more like what we see in Chestnut Hill, where they don't let just any old business slide in and open up. We've got to be more like Chestnut Hill. In closing, I would add that on North 22nd Street and along our business corridor, we do work hand in hand with the 39th Police District and with other community organizations. I am on the 39th Police District Advisory Council, as is our Business Association President, Mr. Ken Curry. We understand that community partnerships are critical and we must work together. Whatever you can do as a Philadelphia City Council, please help us rid the city of Philadelphia nuisance businesses. I thank you for this opportunity to speak today about our concerns with nuisance businesses along the North 22nd Street Business Corridor on behalf of North 22nd Street Association and on behalf of the Allegheny West Foundation. And if you have any questions that you think I might be able to answer, I'm happy to do so at this time.
Well, thank you for your testimony there. That's certainly highlighting some problem areas. And I don't think it's just the 8th Councilmanic District. I know that we have commercial corridors across the city that are facing similar issues as you. You referenced the young folks that are going to those smoke shops. The reason I didn't smoke when I was a young folk myself was we had a coach that said, we catch you once smoking, you're off the team. And I love playing basketball. And I was not going to jeopardize playing what I love, that sport I love, to smoke. But it sounds like some of these kids are really gambling with their future, and it's sad to hear. So we do need to do our part. The one question I have for you, you referenced, you either said gaming or gambling hall.
Gambling. It's gambling.
So what? I don't know what that is. What is a gambling hall?
Well, they've got these machines in there where
Is it the skill games?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I think we won our court battle on that, but maybe we're waiting on some state legislation. So we'll take a deeper dive into that because we did pass some legislation to only allow those skill games to be in establishments that have an R license. So that if they have a restaurant license, every year you have to renew that. And if there is some bad behavior, we can then petition the state not to renew the license. But we'll take a look at that as it pertains to that particular gambling hall that you're referencing. Member O'Rourke?
Yeah, so the gaming hall, it says gaming hall in your testimony. Is it in the actual shops, or is there like an actual set-aside room or hall that's just got skill games?
It's a set-aside hall. The only thing they have in there are the gambling machines. It's a dark little hole, but it's in the 2900 block of North 22nd Street, yes.
Fascinating. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for your testimony.
And we thank you again for the opportunity.
Yes. Ms. McDonald, will you please call the third panel we have to testify this morning on bills number 250123 and 250151.
Jamal Holmes, Whitney Blunden, Elliot Booker, Yolanda Henderson.
Well, good morning. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Elliot Booker.
Jamal Holmes, representing myself and Whitney Blunden.
To be honest, I didn't really know the format. A lot of the concerns that Ms. Martin expressed is my concerns. I'm quite sure it's Mr. Blunden's concerns. I'm a business owner in the 5900 block of Ogons Avenue. Been there for 28 years. And I see these stores opening up in the community. When I first bought my business, there were several black-owned businesses in that particular block. They disappeared over the years, and other businesses have come into the community and opened up with no zoning notice, no neighborhood. The neighborhood doesn't know what's going on until these businesses pop up and go into business. In my block, several businesses have opened up that's not black-owned, that's either Latino or Asian, controlling the economy of black communities. That's not allowed in other communities in the city. I see it. Been here all my life. In my particular block, it's two churches. The gentleman here is a member of one of them. A business opened up right next door to him, selling all kind of drug paraphernalia, drugs, and everything else. We called a community meeting about 2 months ago. And at that community meeting, L&I was represented, the police department was represented, Councilwoman Bass was there, and somebody from the district attorney's office. As the meeting was in progress, the stores in question was invited to the meetings. None of them came. Well, one of the people that was at the meeting went to the store in the corner and bought loose cigarettes and a pack of cigarettes and brought them down to the meeting. Showed the cigarettes to the police department that was represented, loose cigarettes, and the pack of cigarettes had a Virginia seal on it. But they expressed then to the community that you're not allowed to sell out-of-state cigarettes in the city. So the community was upset. They said, let's go up here. So everybody went, the community, Representative Bass, the police department representative, the L&I representative, also the district attorney representative. They went in there and they seen the hookah pipes, the drug paraphernalia, the store was unlicensed, opened up without a license. I mean, it's hard to fathom how this is possible. I would not be able to do that. In Chestnut Hill and Center City and South Philly, where I grew up and was raised, those things would not be allowed. So I just echo the sentiments of Ms. Martin, that I don't understand how this process happens. The majority of black-owned businesses around this country is like 95% of the black-owned businesses are sole proprietorships. Philadelphia is no exception. I think theirs is like 96% of the business here that's black-owned is sole proprietor. These businesses that's opening up our communities, they're not sole proprietor. They employ 5, 6 people that look just like them. There's nothing wrong with that. But where's the fairness? This city is still 43% black. And some stats say that we own 3% of the businesses, some up to 5 and 6%. It's still very low, atrociously low. I don't understand it. These places don't seem to have a problem opening up fully functioning, well-stocked businesses with many employees. I've been, just like I said, and I'm gonna wind up my testimony so I can pass the mic. I've been in my block 28 years. It's one business, black owned, that opened up across the street from me. It's a restaurant. He came in, this is about 5 years ago when he opened up. He came in and expressed that he would like me to come to the church because they were having a zoning meeting in reference to him opening. So I gave him my support. I went up there and supported him because there's not that many black-owned businesses in the area. But other than that, other than him, all these other businesses opened up with no zoning meetings, no notice, no nothing. So that's my concern. I just echo the sentiments of the prior speaker, Ms. Martin, that the community needs some type of explanation. Now, one other thing. When we had that meeting, I think it was February, and so it wasn't like the community reported this. Officials was there. They seen the stuff being sold, the unlicensed business going on in that particular establishment, and they were open 24 hours. So the next day, they were closed, which was the meeting was on a Wednesday. The Thursday, they were closed. Friday, they opened back up and been open ever since. Several neighbors have come to my establishment and told me that children have been up there, young people, and they're letting them know we sell weed here, spread it around the community. So it's nothing that's changed. Evidently, they're not afraid to do this. The police was there. They know what's going on. They seen the paraphernalia. These businesses are not afraid to do this type of business in black communities. So that's all I have to say.
Good morning. My name is Jamal Holmes. I'm a member of a place called Restoration Ministries, as well as the CFO for Restoration Expansion Project, which is a CDC in the West Oak Lanes, operating under the umbrella of APCRM. My first testimony would be the written words of the overseer and founder of APCRM, who has been there. We just celebrated our 13th year anniversary, so we have been on that block 13 years. So, per overseer, says, I am overseer Whitney Blunden, pastor founder of a place called Restoration Ministries, 5946 Ogontz Avenue, in the East Oak Lane section. This is a reference to the 5950 New Variety store that has opened on the same corner of the side of the street of my church. I am grateful to the efforts of Councilwoman Cindy Bass, her constituents, 35th Precinct, and the concerned neighbors who came out in March to voice concerns and propose a plan to necessarily shut down the store, but definitely suspicious activity that can bring much harm and danger to the area. There were many zoning, construction, missing permits, just to name a few reasons why this store's opening should be delayed, if not completely shut down. And no one of the community was notified of this new store until we all saw the grand opening sign. Since that meeting,